Basically, the Democrats are completely lost, they have no direction, and they realize this, and so does Bill Maher. They're falling apart, and they can do absolutely nothing to stop this Trump train. Choo-choo. All right, so before we get to these clips, don't forget to like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
You know what? People come to me all the time when I'm out, like at the Oscar party. They're, Bill, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? I don't know. You're at the Oscar party. Have a great time.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you're going to do. What are we going to do? Like, your life is falling apart, you fucking phony. No, but, you know, what are you going to do? Be a viable alternative. You can't do anything because you lost the election. You lost all three branches of government. Okay, so you actually, the only thing you can do is be somebody who, a party who, when the independent voter looks at the scene, says, oh, you know what? I don't like what Trump is doing, but these people are crazier. Somebody gets it. Our governor. Did you see what happened this week with our governor? He's got a new podcast. And he said, they asked him about females in sports. Would you say no to men in female sports? He said, it's an issue of fairness. It's deeply unfair. Okay, it's so funny. Gavin, I do love this because I do think he's a great politician. I know he's slick. Yeah, they said there's something about Clinton. He's a great politician. He's really smart. He can talk great. Chicks dig him. And I've always been saying, if he would just tack to the center. Well, it happened this week. He said, I had one meeting where people started going around the table with pronouns. And I said, what the hell? Why is this the biggest issue? Well, Gavin, like 2 weeks ago, it was the biggest issue for you, but I don't care. I don't care. You made the switch, and I love it. That's what I'm saying, is you made the switch, and I love it. The Democrats seem so lost. And here's Jasmine Crockett, who is, I thought, a big leader in the Democratic Party. Her quote is, this is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the f*** up because I'm ready to get on with it. On with what would be my first question. And also, this is the way this is like how a podcaster talks or some shit. F it, man. Can you imagine, I don't know, Obama saying, oh, man, dude, this shit is whack. F it. Just slap me. I'm over it. No, I mean, come on, man.
Also, like, if you watch the DNC candidate forum, it was lunatics behaving like lunatics. It was all, say your pronouns, tell me which group you fit into, because we're definitely not bringing groups together. We're dividing them more than ever. And it didn't seem like they learned anything from why people rejected them. If they ran an Alyssa Slotkin message and talked that way, they would get back to being a majority party.
100%.
Okay, well, it's like, of all the things Trump is doing, all this crazy shit, and the other sentence that I think stuck out for me in his speech was he wants a revolution of common sense, that this guy can even propose to, and then credibly get the vote of people that he's the common sense guy. That's what Democrats should take to heart. And
yes,
he's claiming the mantle of common sense, but like this issue, 80% of people are with what you and I just said, like women should, biological women shouldn't be in, 80% popular, and yet that's the one that the Senate votes on this week, the Democrats. They would not go near that, or they actually said, no, we're going to stick with what we're doing.
Mistake?
It's such a mistake. Men and women are different in sports, okay? It's just different. Yes, the WNBA, great. But if you played the Lakers, the score would be 100-3. Okay, so we kids can't have it. All right, here's another issue I think that's really interesting that's going on in this country.
I think they do better than 100-3.
Caitlin Clark's pretty good.
I don't know.
They shoot pretty well.
They do. They do shoot pretty well, but the other guys are taller and stronger, and it's Luka and LeBron James. Okay, it's just let's just not go there, John.
I find it so ironic that the one thing that would save the Democrat Party is the one thing they are not going to do. Getting off all of this trans DEI garbage would actually propel them further with your average everyday Americans, but they can't let it go because they have become the party of the left. So all of these old school liberals like Bill Maher, who will never vote Republican and will never turn against the Democrats, even he recognizes that, yes, there are several issues that are just far too crazy and the Democrats will never win on. But of course, what the Democrats always do is run as centrists and then govern as Marxist communists, all right? And even Kamala, in that short time frame she had to actually run for president, she tried to do the same thing, even though she was on record for years of saying the most left-wing crazy garbage you could possibly think of. And then all of a sudden, oh, I'm a total capitalist who believes in secure borders and lower taxes, all right? Yeah, forget about it. However, let's notice something that John Tester said. even though him and Bill Maher both agree that men, the trans women, should not be in women's sports, right? He basically caveats it with this, right? How often is it actually happening, right? Find me one person that's going to be out there competing. Well, that's the thing. It only takes one person, right? One boy, one man competing in a girl's or a woman's sport can win the entire city, the entire state, the entire national competition, and as we recently saw at the Olympics, right, the entire world competition. So you don't have to have a lot of this happening. It just has to be happening, and it does on a much bigger scale than the Democrats want to admit. And that's enough to ruin the chances of hundreds, if not thousands, of girls from getting scholarships, from getting awards, from getting accolades, from earning money with their talents and skills, all right? It doesn't take a huge amount, but this is a hill the Democrats have chosen to die on, and I am very thankful for it because I want to win elections and win them easily. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and say hi to your mom for me.